Good people, good people. It is Monday night. It's time for your Monarchs to get in the building. So, of course, you got your boy Cool McCain, right? We here to get into it. And is with me as every week is the co-hostess with the mostest. And I'm not saying that trying to play my boy, I just want to make it rhyme. But got with me my co-host, the playmaker. We in the building. We get ready to talk to y'all real thoroughly about a whole lot that has happened and will be happening this weekend in the world of professional wrestling. We got TNA Emergence. We also got, of course, Bash at Berlin. And then we had some people call it Masterpiece, some people call it Monstrosity. You know, I normally fall somewhere in the middle. That was AEW All In.
Darn
So,
you, Triple H.
so
Y'all find out towards the end of the show why I said that.
I know why you said that, but yeah.
Oh, of course you know why.
So with all intents to get this done, even though we started a little bit late, technicalities, we're gonna get this thing popping. We're gonna get through it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So it's time to dig into that TNA. All right, so for TNA, we just gonna pick. You know what I'm saying? We got a pay-per-view coming. We're gonna pick who's gonna win these matches.
I keep up with all these pay-per-views and premium live events. Jeez, we just came from one.
Yeah.
And we got two coming already.
Two more. All right, so TNA Emergence. And if I remember correctly, I believe that's going to be like Friday because they be doing weird stuff. Let me double check that. So I want y'all to have the time to watch it too. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to have the correct timage and everything. All right, so TNA Emergence is August 30th.
August 30th. Friday, August 30th.
Yes, it is. Friday, August 30th.
TNA during y'all too.
Yep. So it's Friday, August 30th. Oh, that's not the right time. Come on, y'all. Give me the time. I can get the date. I'm trying to get the time for the people. Of course, all this stuff was pulled up at an earlier time, but 7:30. Friday, August 30th, 7:30 p.m. is when TNA Emergence is going to be live and in the building for you to watch. So, with that being said, let's get into these picks. And, you know, we've been talking about a lot. And the reason the last couple of weeks we've been a little bit more like detailed on TNA is because I knew Emergence was coming. It was going to have a plethora of matches, and it was things we needed to kind of discuss. So that y'all, as well as my coach, everybody can kind of follow along with what's happening with Emergence. They seem to be doing a lot more to make their pay-per-views more important, not just throwing you on 4-5 matches, but giving you a nice card, trying to give you good wrestling as well as give you on the TNA side, as well as give you some story. All right, so the first match in Emergence is going to be Steve Maclin versus Ehrichs Young. So if you guys recall, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how Steve Maclin was coming back, had a vignette talking about how he wanted to be world champion, TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and his first step was going to be taking care of Ehrichs Young. So Ehrichs Young was targeted by Steve Maclin. Now they're having a match at Emergence. So I'm going to go Steve Maclin because I'm going to say that if he's going to get anywhere near where his vignettes and things are claiming, he's got to win the first feud with his new reintroduction. That's Ehrichs Young. So Ehrichs Young, you being sacrificed, pun intended.
Sacrificial lamb.
Steve Maclin. What are your thoughts, Playmaker?
Sacrificial lamb.
I thought that's the way you would go. So we were both picking Steve Maclin. All right, so a new match added to TNA Emergence. You have the system, right, which includes JDC. That's how they get to 4. Versus Mike Santana, Joe Hendry, and the Hardys. Remember last week, a couple of weeks, we've been talking about the beef with the Hardys, Mike Santana. Joe Hendry said they made 2 new enemies last week, blase, tying it in. So this was going to happen. They hadn't announced it yet, but clearly it was going to happen. Story of watching.
Of course.
I'm going to go with the system. And you might say, why would you go with the system? They don't have any belts. If they lose this match, they become irrelevant to most people. right? So you at least want to keep them at a relevant level. So having them win against two guys who've never teamed together that I can remember, Mike Santana and Joe Hendry, and then you're pairing it with the Hardy Boys, there's going to be some times where, you know, guys are going to be able to get manipulated. Like you should sit outside and chill, but you might try to run into the ring, get emotional because you're not used to being a tag team wrestler, you know, and then just not executing things right, not being in the corner on time, different things that happens to a team when they're not a normal team, I think is going to cause the system to be able to pick up a win here. Even though everybody believes in Joe Hendry.
Yeah, we even got NFL superstars believing in Joe Hendry.
They do.
Jesus
they do.
Christ. He's made it to the NFL. Who would ever
He's believable, man. What do you think, man?
So here's the interesting thing about this, because let me ask you a question.
Sure.
And I'm being completely serious when I ask this question. Do you think TNA is following WWE, or are they doing their own separate thing?
I think they're doing their own separate thing.
So you believe they're doing their own separate thing?
I do.
So if you're saying they're doing their own separate thing, I'm rolling with this. I'm rolling with Joe Hendry's then.
Okay.
But if they're following WWE, the reason why I said that, the system wins, because who has the NXT Championship match coming up?
Joe Hendry.
Mm-hmm. Plus, I think the system needs to win because they haven't been on they haven't been system.
Right. That's why I say I think they're doing their own thing. The system is their homegrown group of guys that they really need to try to get over, right? And understandably, they are no longer, you know, any champions. But just because they're not champions doesn't mean you can allow them to just get, you know, eviscerated by four guys who've never teamed together before. And I like that question, sir. I do like that question, by the way, because it shows that you were really putting some thought into this on the back end. And
when I seen I had to think, I'm like, so Joe Hendry is over here and going to be in one pay-per-view, and he's going to be involved in another one for a championship in another country. Interesting. Okay. See how this plays out. So I had to throw the question out there. You know, I don't know if you're paying attention, but today I'm educating people today. I think that's the theme for today for me. I'm educating people.
Yeah, some of your education might be a little questionable in my mind.
Only to you.
But not just to me. But it does follow the right path. We'll say that. I'll give you that. There's an argument to be made for some of the things I disagree with, at least. It's not sacrilegious in nature.
I don't know. I know. That's why I say you want to have the debate, but that fan base you can.
I don't even have a debate with that fan base because they're not included in the argument. You have to be included for me to debate with you. They're not even included. The debate is with what you feel and what I feel. What they think is that person might not even be top five. But we're not even going to get into that because we're not going to allow their energy to invade this wonderful program that we are doing here. Next match is a 6-woman tag team match. We have Jordynn Grace, Jody Threat, and Dani Luna on one side. On the other side, we have their respective opponents. Ash by Elegance, Jordynn Grace, Masha Slamovich, and Alicia Edwards, better known as Malisha, the women's tag team champions. So there's only one person that still has a belt in the system, and that's Alicia Edwards. We point that out as hilarious.
When I say this, and you already know why I'm saying this, so you don't even have to respond. You know why I'm saying this. Why is my world champion part of a 6-woman tag match?
There's no one left. They got to go find somebody else. So this will give us a chance to see why they go find somebody else. But no, seriously, it's because it's between the woman who is the women's champion, the tag team that wants to be the tag team champions, and on the other side, the woman who wants to be champion and the tag team champions. So they just kind of made them one match instead of making it two crappy matches, which I actually do prefer. If you're going to do it that way, I'd rather you do this than, you know what I'm saying, go in and do like a crappy match. Because if you have Jordynn Grace and Ash by Elegance go one-on-one, we talk about all the time, like,
You already had that.
Say what?
You already had that.
Right, but what I'm saying is if you try to go back and do that match again right now, we already know what it's going to look like. Like, we already know who's going to win that match without a doubt.
You can have this match a year from now. And guess what? Me and Cool, we still going to pick the Juggernaut.
We definitely are, but what they're trying to do is put a little space in between them having one-on-one matches so they can try to maybe get Jordynn Grace injured or something to make it more believable, right? Because that's the only way that most reasonable fans that watch TNA are going to believe that Jordynn Grace is going to lose, is if she does get hurt. So you having these type of matches where you can have an injury happen. You know what I'm saying? And then the injury is the Ash by Elegance's hope to possibly win. That's why I think they're going with it.
I'll give Ash this. She's the only one that doesn't mind getting involved. Because when Jordynn Grace was trying to be a double champion, guess who got involved? Don't look like nobody else on the women's roster want to get involved when it comes to the Juggernaut.
Would you? I mean, talk about as a woman. As a man, would you want to fight Jordynn Grace?
No.
I wouldn't either. So I can't blame the women for not wanting to, because I think most men don't want to either.
I'm saying it because your point is they got to find somebody else, or they got to make it look believable that she can get beat. Well, ain't nobody trying at this moment in time.
Well, Rosemary's there, but she got to get through this thing with Ash with Elegance first before they can have a proper match. Rosemary is back, and the voices cut Rosemary off, so she's digging deeper into insanity.
Anyway,
but
hello everybody. I see y'all in the chat.
Yeah, we're gonna get to you in a minute. We just gonna slide through this complete joint here, and then we're gonna get to the comments. Then we'll take a break. So we're just trying to.
Do we have to talk about the next match?
Yep. So Jordynn Grace's team was gonna win because Jordynn Grace is there. She's gonna get injured, I think, which is gonna make it possible for Ash by Elegance to expose it next month and get a title shot.
Hello, Damien.
That's what I think. All right, I'm not messing with you right now, Damien, but we're gonna get to it. All right. Next match, we got Matt Cardona. Fine. We're gonna do one. You might as well do all of them. Ain't no point.
I'm just saying, like, dude.
No, I'm just saying if you're gonna do
one. What's the level of interest for you in this match?
We can't. Yolanda in the comments. Yolanda says, "Hey y'all, what up, Yolanda? Thank you for commenting, communicating, and interacting with us every week." Damian Hernandez says AEW need to be on Max.
Saying being on Max with you talking about HBO match?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure because when you say AEW needs to be on Max, I was thinking like, do you want AEW on Max with who in charge?
Yeah, you're talking about HBO Max.
Okay.
Wise all. Our brother says, hello, my brothers. What is up, Wise? Appreciate you hopping in and rolling with the fellas. And then Damien said, I would rather lose the Omos than Jordynn Grace. If I'm going to be pinned by somebody, I would rather Jordynn Grace pin me than Omos. That's me. Jordynn Grace is a part of the cake infantry. I would like to be pinned by her and have her all over me sweating than Omos. That's me.
I want to lose to
That's me.
Wow. All right, look. Matt Cardona versus PC. I don't care.
I'm just gonna say Matt Cardona because the match is there. And Ultimate X 6-man match for the X Division Championship.
Who's all in this match? Because I didn't get to see who was all in this match.
Yeah, I gotta get. So what happens, guys? I get a little backstage thing. There's only a certain amount of things that we're able to put like into that description without it kind of getting funky. So I figured this is one of the things we kind of sneak by. So the 6-man tag match, Mike Bailey, Speedball Mike Bailey is the champion. He's going up against Zachary Wentz, Riley Osborne of Chase U, Jason Hotch, the Laredo Kid, and Alex Hammerstone. Laredo Kid and Hammerstone won this past week. We didn't see that because, we didn't talk about that because, it made more sense to talk about the pay-per-view or PLE, whatever they call it. But those are the competitors in the Ultimate X match. So one guy who said he was going to get into the match last week is on the countdown show.
So I can't have Chase U winning it. So give me Hammerstone then.
I'm going to go with Zachary Wentz because if I remember correctly, I think he's the member of the former Rascals or Rascals, but former 3-man group Rascals who has not won that belt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with him getting his chance to win because it's a 6-man match. We always like to have a second guy. So for my second guy, I'm going to go with the champ retaining Mike Bailey. We had who would you be picking? Or do you not even want to fool with a second person?
Not really.
Okay, so we're both saying Zach Wentz or Hammerstone, and if not, we're both saying Mike Bailey retains.
I can't have Chase U win it.
I would be shocked if Riley Osborne, like you said, Chase U do. If he wins, that's great.
If he wins, I'm happy. Something different.
Damien says Laredo Kid. Shocking. Laredo Kid, Hispanic wrestler. Shocking that that's his pick.
Now we have a 60-minute Iron Man match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Nic Nemeth defending against Josh Alexander. I believe they're doing 60 minutes because it's something to do. And you let Josh Alexander get his stuff in. But Nic Nemeth will show the world why he's the champ.
So the 60 minutes gives Josh Alexander every opportunity to be the champ, right? Because a 30-minute draw, so you got to give more time to get him the complete time. Everything would say Josh Alexander, but no one is stripping their champions this fast. So I think just because of the fact it's too early in his run for him to lose the championship, unless it's back to Moose, because, if you lose back to the champion, it's not seen the same way. But I think that there's no way he loses this match. But I think that we're going to get like a lot of false finishes and everything in this match. But I think Dolph Ziggler does continue to keep his championship. And I know he's Nic Nemeth in TNA, but I don't work for TNA. So Dolph Ziggler will keep his championship. And that's all I got to say about that.
Unless you're telling me somebody's getting beaten up before that match, I don't see it.
Right. So Damien says, hot take, Ali returns, fools everybody, and wins it back. Like my co-host just so eloquently put it, you had to qualify for this match. So if he just shows up, like he said, unless he's going to take somebody out, maybe the guy from Chase U, there's not a way for him to really get into the match. And if you can't get into the match, you can't win it. But, Damien, I will respect the fact that you will go out on a limb. Down the hill.
Hey, man, that last limb you went off on last week, you actually came true.
Yeah, it did. It did. Some of them worked. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Not very happy about it, but I understand it. Storyline-wise, I understand it. But I am not happy about it. So, we're going to go ahead, rock out this first commercial break, come back, and we're going to get into it.
Whether it's the men's college game,
the way that this season has been going, anything is possible.
The women's college game,
and how passionate Angel Reese was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
The WNBA,
AJ Williams Brown stood at 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young,
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out. on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Tuesday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern, 10:05 a.m. Central on the Sotoba Media YouTube channel. Music by J. Cool.
Where my soldiers? Right side. Commanders. Where my soldiers?
Everything Boston. I love you morons. You Kids on the Block, New Edition,
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Get in the game at BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook. Over 50 sports, live betting, online casino, horse racing, esports, and more. Start now and enjoy easy deposits, fastest payouts, and the biggest bonuses. And for over 25 years, BetUS is a name you can trust. Mention TV 150 now and get up to 150% in bonuses. BetUS, we've got your game. Call or visit BetUS.com now to join.
All right, good people. If you are listening to this on Real Wise Radio, shout out, or 502 Angel Radio, the link for you to use so it can help support Monarchs of Wrestling is http:// that's the 2 dots, 2// bit.ly/Shady Sports Network -BetUS. Using that link again doesn't affect anything that you're doing. You still get any promo specials and things, but it lets BetUS know that you came because you heard it from us. So we appreciate that support. All right. So we got this whole so Damian says, hey, I told y'all wrestlers never really retire. Laugh out loud. It's apropos to say that because now we're going to AEW. So AEW had I would say overall, really good pay-per-view. But there's a couple of things that make me kind of like, why did you go that route? And some of the things made sense. So we'll get into it. We'll start with the pre-show. We had a stipulation.
Done behind pre-show?
Yeah, Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishi versus Kris Statlander and Stokeley Hathaway.
Oh, by the way, those y'all,
Hathaway,
we are definitely skipping over the 16-man match because that was ridiculous.
Stokeley Hathaway is not a wrestler.
He's not, but he did a hell of a spine buster, though. I give him that.
But he did look fairly decent. The stipulation for this was Willow Nightingale or Kris Statlander, whichever team won, they got to pick the stipulation for their match they're going to have on Dynamite. So, of course, Willow Nightingale's team won. 2 wrestlers beat a wrestler and a guy who did decent but didn't try. The match that my coach doesn't really want to talk about, we'll just talk about who won real quick and keep it moving. So on one side, we had Dustin Rhodes, Dustin 2 Belts, Sammy Guevara, Devon Ehrichs, and Katsiyuri Hibata against the Cage of Agony.
I want to talk about that one.
Oh, the other one, yeah, we are skipping over the other one. And Undisputed. We're not even talking. We're not acknowledging the existence of that match.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, we're not acknowledging the existence of that match. Yeah, there was another match, but if you wanted to see about that, go look at the results. We're not gonna waste our time talking about that. That was a cluster cluck of embarrassment in nature, and it does drag down the value of the show as a whole, it being a part of it. But this match, we saw, of course, the good
I
guys.
understand because you need to have 4 guys for Undisputed Kingdom. I get it, but
Well, you didn't have to have because the Undisputed Kingdom only had 2 guys that could wrestle
yeah, they
in the
need
match. They had to have Cage of Agony, which is Brian Cage.
You might as well look all them into the Undisputed Kingdom. That's what's going to happen.
I don't think so. Because Brian Cage doesn't want to be under anybody. He wants to be the guy in charge when they lose and not the second guy in charge when they lose. I mean, when they wrestle.
It doesn't work when he is in charge.
It didn't work when Swerve was in charge either for anybody but Swerve.
When is Adam Cole coming back? Because this is getting ridiculous.
All right.
This group has no stability right now.
There ain't nobody else coming back to that group, sir. Oh, you're talking about the by the time Adam Cole comes back, man, there might not even be a group no more because we ain't seen Wardlow in forever. And being a 3-man thing just doesn't really work for them. So
now I get that Dustin and Dustin's a champion, which is good. We want to see Dustin
double champion. Dustin 2 belts.
Dustin 2 belts, yeah. But the fall, and I'm talking potential wise, the fall from grace from Sammy Guevara. Wow.
Well, Sammy got in a lot of trouble.
He did.
So you got to kind of work your way back, as to speak. The fact that he still has a job is the most impressive thing out of this. We ain't going into that. Sammy's back. He's on TV. And we're just going to celebrate that. And hopefully he can make better choices and get back where he could be on the main roster. Right now he's on Ring of Honor.
That man is too talented to be where he's at.
He's not too talented if you take his mentals into account. Mentals are a big part of your talent, and his mentals are like young Randy Orton. And we saw young Randy Orton didn't get pushes like that because of his own mentals. So he's got time to turn around. Let's hope he does. All right. Next, we have Toni Storm versus Mariah May.
Did this happen before the surprise or after the surprise?
I'm not sure because I was going to let you talk about the surprise. I just wanted to get to this match first.
Now, Tony Khan, AEW, the way you put this match on, you gave it the right payoff.
This was the match of the night.
Y'all did this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for doing this one correctly because it was the match that me and Koo wanted to watch no matter what. This is the match we cared about most outside of this.
This was the match of the night as I expected. This match was amazing. It was carried out wonderfully, and it executed this story great. We saw Toni Storm have an opportunity and give it up because she still has some love for Mariah May. And we saw Mariah May descend into madness to the fact she just slapped her own mama.
She could have destroyed the brakes off Mariah if she wanted to.
Yep.
But the heart took over.
That moment of weakness. And you ask yourself, isn't that the whole point of what Mariah May did, that whole slow burn? Because she knew there was going to be a little piece of Toni Storm that wouldn't let her go but so far. Mariah doesn't have that. Mariah is psychotic. Where Toni Storm was timeless, this should be psychotic Mariah May.
All the time that are you ready to die? Because I'm ready to die and all that. The heart had another plan.
Yep. So just that hesitation. And Toni Storm not only loses, but in the ultimate disrespect, Mariah May beats her with a Storm Zero. This can't be over. But this was a great. If I'm Toni Storm, I probably want to take a break. So let me go ahead and lose to Mariah May. Take me a couple of months off. Then I come back and I get my pound of flesh. Whether I win the belt or not, I get my pound of flesh. So I like it for what it needed to be. It was, to me, the match of the pay-per-view. No questions asked, no holds barred. Anybody who doesn't agree with me, I do not care.
You don't have to care what Bridge Report does.
There's not a match on this card that was better than that match. There's a match that was possibly as good, but it was not better.
Well, it felt like you was watching a movie and it hit the climax.
Yeah. Like you're watching a movie that you know is going to have at least a sequel, but at the end of the first movie, this is it. Right? So now we can go into a second movie, possibly a third, because everybody like trilogies. But the first movie, this is like Beverly Hills Cop 1, 2, and 3. 1 by far to me was the better one. Right? 2 was not bad. And 3 was another movie. And I'm not saying that it'll be worse. I'm just saying like it's hard to top what they were able to do in this match without introducing some new elements, which could happen. But yeah, Mariah May is your new AEW Women's World Heavyweight Champion.
So we was sort of right. We said it had to be somebody within Tony Storm's group to do it. Mariah May. We had somebody in mind to come do it.
I had one other person, and she came back, but not in time.
Yeah, she came back at her because Saraya felt some type of way. Not being in that match we just talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, being on the show, period.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone that.
Nothing.
And somebody came back with a new hairdo, with a new look. That some people kind of confused her with another star that is being rumored to go to AEW.
Well, I mean, when you come back looking like that, at first glance, you can't blame them.
I'm not. Did I say they're wrong for it?
Yeah. I mean, after first glance, you do, but at first glance, it looked like it could have been her.
People thought Becky Lynch had finally showed up to England. It wasn't Becky Lynch, ladies and gentlemen. It was Jamie Hayter came back. And Saraya wanted no parts of Jamie.
One of her underlings got to work though, but that's how it
of
happens.
course. That's how that always happens.
Yep.
Jamie came back to an ovation. Saraya didn't want none of it. She left. She said what she had to say and been gone.
Saraya's mama made sure she got that ring before she got dealt with.
I will say, dang, the fact that Saraya is not being used says a lot.
Yeah, that's why I say things like there's typhoon clouds of white dust in this man's office. He got to have a little pod in his office that just, you know what I'm saying? Because how else can you not use talent? You wonder why I say such things. You got to be at an elevated level of thinking where you're overlooking things. That's the only feasible and reasonable thing we have. That's all we got. All right, next match. Hook versus the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho.
Time.
The only things I even want to talk about in the match, Hook was faking with the eye. He pulled out the patch. He could see out of his eye. Whoop, whoop. Nobody saw that coming. And number 2, Taz finally gave somebody the Taz mission. Old Brian Keith thought he was going to mess up his son getting his championship back. And Chris Jericho took out Big Bill himself by accident. So Hook went ahead and put a Taz mission on Chris Jericho as well. And after that tapulations, well, excuse me, he calls it the Red Rum. New FTW champion, Chris Jericho on the Learning Tree. Please take them off TV, put them in a box, and ship them to our Ring of Honor because I don't want to see them anymore. I'm tired of this. And I like Brian Keith individually. I like Big Bill individually. I don't like them with Chris Jericho. I'm tired of Chris Jericho. He needs to go away for a while. Right? He gets go away heat. People are yelling and chanting, please retire. So thank you for getting Chris Jericho off my television as much, because I developed maybe he'll fade into some obscurity.
I'm gonna be honest. You gave that match way too much time.
Well, I had to talk about Chris Jericho.
Yeah, you had to get your rant out, huh?
Yeah, I had to say what I had to say about him.
A match my co-host was looking forward to, outside of the top two that you already know, was this interesting AEW World Trios Championship match that was contested in ladders. The Patriarch with Christian Cage, which wasn't the first time, so I say wasn't the last time we saw him that evening. Bang Bang Gang, House of Black, Pac, Willow, and Claudio Casanova. Very interesting group of four. When I mean four, I mean the tag teams here in this match. When you have ladder matches, what kind of crazy shenanigans is going to come out of this one?
There are a lot of shenanigans. Really didn't go too much into it. I'll just say it like this. The right team won in the BCC and Pac, because Pac was the guy that was, from that area, so you get that hometown Pac. And him with the BCC, I kind of like, because we got a break from Moxley, so we still need we need that just bad guy. Like, he may be a good guy, but he's a bad guy. And Pac, who, nickname is the Bastard, is that person.
So pretty much good guy with an attitude.
More than attitude, a dark side, so to speak. But I like it. Bullet Club Gold or the Bang Bang Gang. I don't know why you would want to call yourself the Bang Bang Gang. That's a different story. But yeah, they had some good spots. Juice Robinson got put in some crazy situations. House of Black went through a little bit too. They showed some respect to BCC and Pac after the match. You know what I'm saying? Which I like, because the House of Black is not bad or good. They're just evil, right? So I like it.
They're not bad or good, but they're evil, which is bad.
They're not bad or good. They're just evil. They're the House of Black.
Evil's like the main definition of bad.
But they're not bad. They're just evil.
Oh my gosh.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Like another match that I didn't care about because I knew the outcome was going to happen. And AEW World Tag Team titles, FTR, the Acclaim trying to dethrone the EVP Young Bucks.
The only reason I even care was because I was hoping that Acclaim would win so we could get some scissoring back, because they won't scissor until they win the championship back. Other than that, I didn't really care. The biggest thing in the match was that the Grizzled Young Veterans came out and beat up FTR after the match. That was the only thing really of importance to me in the match. Young Bucks kept the belts, match for nothing. And then the Grizzled Young Veterans came out and beat up the FTR, who are in a mini rivalry with the Acclaim at the moment. Great writing. White powder tornado had to have happened when you were writing this match.
Now, before we get to a match that I know you want to talk about, we did have a gauntlet match. The gauntlet match consisted of quite a few individuals. Winner gets a shot at the AEW Championship. Mm-hmm. Orange Cassidy, Okada, Nigel McGuinness. How in the heck did he get in this match? It's something
he's back as a wrestler, apparently.
I'm still trying to figure out. Kyle O'Reilly, Save Jr., Roger Strong, Mark Briscoe. I don't even know why Mark Briscoe was in this match. He's already a champion.
Thank you.
Heyman out of Page, Jeff Jarrett, Christian, Luchasaurus, and the wait is finally over. He made his debut. Surprisingly, he didn't change his name either. I thought he would change the name. I think you expected him to change the name. Change the name too.
I thought it was gonna be like Puma or
Prince. No, he didn't. He ain't go back to none of those. He went straight to the Ricochet.
I didn't think he would come out as like Prince Puma. because I know he already showed his face. So I thought maybe he'd come out as like Puma or Prince Ricochet, like use part of it to, like Christian Cage did. When he just added Cage and then he can keep the name. I thought he would do something like that. But nah, he just came out as Ricochet. Cool.
Now, in a way, I'm kind of disappointed because kind of didn't want his debut to be in the loss, to be honest.
Well,
so when you put him in this match, I'm not looking forward to him winning it because you're not finna just come in and win a gauntlet match.
Well, technically, the way they do it is just the first pinfall wins. So technically, he didn't lose because he didn't get pinned. He just didn't win.
But if you had to sustain my voice, I'm pretty sure you can guess who won this match.
So yeah, this was a match where if I was, let's say I was going to give the pay-per-view an A up to them, and I'm not because I also include the pre-show in it, and they had a match that was complete and utter garbage in the pre-show. But if I was, this would knock it down to at least to no better than a B+. So you have all these guys. You got Hangman Adam Page in this match, right? You got Nigel McGuinness, and you ask, why does Nigel McGuinness compete? Nigel McGuinness is from where, sir?
Yeah.
There you go. Hometown pop. But I think I heard some rumors that he was going to be able to wrestle again. He had got cleared, but they were waiting for the right time to introduce him. But I was like, I don't know about that because Nigel McGuinness ain't wrestling in a minute. But then I thought about Edge, Daniel Bryan, some of those people that have been out for a while, Saraya. I said, maybe it's possible. And I think it was one of those situations, and they felt this was a great time to reintroduce him as a wrestler, which I wholeheartedly 1,000% agree with. You're going to do it for them in their home country, where it matters and where it's something that can be talked about. But Christian won the match because Luchasaurus came out to pretend like he was going to turn on Christian, but didn't help Christian win the match. I don't care about Christian getting a title shot. I hope that Daniel Bryan, who I'll go ahead and spoil, is the new champion. I hope he puts him in a LaBelle lock for 30 minutes and breaks his back, neck, and face. But I guess I'm supposed to not like Christian. But it's not even just not like him. It's just I don't care because you don't do anything by yourself.
Why Heyman couldn't win?
Heyman could have won this, yeah.
Why Heyman couldn't win?
Luchasaurus could have won this because you could have really rode him to get tired of Christian. Right there, that's a Ricochet coming in. I mean, if you want to come in and have him win, I wouldn't have been upset. I'm not surprised he didn't, but I wouldn't have been upset. Right? I mean,
you
Okada could have won. You could have had anybody win but Christian. It's like the least likely little slimy CLB to win, and that's who wins.
See, this is why I have to give Tony Khan credit when credit is due about the 20 Storm rematch, because he do stupid stuff like this. This whole entire time, it was an obsession. Now, it wasn't an obsession with Swerve. It was an obsession that Swerve was champion.
Yeah.
With Heyman, the championship.
And it didn't need to be he didn't need to have it because Swerve wasn't going to be champion. So I guess that's why Christian got it. Stupid. But yeah. So
all right.
Definitely a down point of the pay-per-view for me. The next match.
But we get lifted up again.
Yeah. The AEW International Championship match, because I refuse to call it the
it actually says the AEW American Championship match too.
It's the International Championship match. Will Ospreay versus MJF. We'll fast forward to the end. It was a good match. A lot of great moves, a lot of using each other's moves and stuff, and that's cool. It's kind of like, these young guys, they kind of in their primes, great. But the important parts of this, a while back, MJF screwed over Daniel Garcia when he turned heel. Well, Daniel Garcia screwed over MJF, and now we have back the International Championship. And even though my boy Malcolm Gooley loved the American Championship, even though it looked like something a toddler made, it's gone.
You cannot have an American Championship when you have a Continental Championship.
You couldn't tell my boy Gooley that. Plot device. I'm sure some suckers went out and bought it and spent $300 or $400 on it. Pie in your face. I mean, it'd probably be cool to have as a collectible in 10 years. I wouldn't buy it because I could make something that looks better with a belt maker than that. But, digression, of course. Yeah. Will Ospreay is your new second-time international champion.
Bruv, where to go, bruv?
So the bruv is back, and he needs a Roman Reigns type run with his championship because it's the international championship. You got to do something to make it important. It's like the 8th championship on the pecking order, probably at least. Let's have the bruv make it what it is. All right. Then we have another letdown match for me. Oh, any
letdown? Did you just say letdown?
I did say letdown.
I mean,
Britt
we got
Baker versus Mercedes Moné, TBS Championship. Here's the issue. Britt Baker was not physically ready for this match, and it's no fault of her own. It's the fault of the people that make the decisions on who fights when. Britt Baker's had like one match since she's been back. Britt Baker, I think, is one of the better females in this company, wrestling and on the mic. She did not look in this match, and that's not her fault. So a lot of people have been saying things like, oh, you know, Britt Baker is over and she's done and it's the era of Moné. And no, you don't take a person that's been out of wrestling for almost a year and their second match back is a championship match on a pay-per-view. That was a poor idea to begin with. This rivalry should have stretched out longer, and we could have had a better match out of Britt Baker. The point of the match that I loved the most was, and they had some. I'm not saying that there wasn't any good moments, but the point of the match I loved the most was when Moné bit her hand when she tried to give her a lockjaw. I'm sitting there thinking, about time somebody figured it out. You just stick your finger down my mouth, I'm gonna bite them. Thank you, Mercedes Moné, for finally giving us a logical counter for a move where somebody sticks their hand down your mouth.
Hey, Sam, I need you to cut that, okay? I need you to cut that. Because this will probably be the only time he will ever give Mercedes Moné any credit. Because everything else he does, he can't stand. But yes, Mercedes Moné does know how to use her brain. But did you expect anything different?
No.
All right then.
No, I mean, so here's Mercedes Moné gets a lot of grief that's unnecessary, and I'm gonna say this: like, Mercedes Moné isn't the most accomplished of the 4 horsewomen or anything like that, but this is a woman who's really improved in the ring, and she can give you a good match, and she did carry this match. But again, Britt Baker should not have been put in this point at this point in her career. Just coming back off of injury, she should not have been put in that spot. And I blame the writers, Mr. Nose Candy himself, and whoever else assisted on this with that happen. That's just, my thoughts on it. I didn't like the fact that it was happening the whole time. I didn't really get as much of a chance to say that just because of all the other stuff that was happening. But yeah, I feel like she wasn't ready physically for this rivalry. On the mic, she can hang with anybody, but you need time to get back to the point where you're ready for this. But it does make sense for her to have been the opponent for Moné just because that gives you something that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise, which is a credible win.
Mercedes, good job. Now, very quickly, we knew what this match was going to be. You could tell because out of all the title matches on the main show, this was the one we care less about. TNT Championship, which is sad for us to say that, because the TNT Championship should be respected as like a United States or Intercontinental Championship for AEW.
Can I say this?
But you gave us Darby Allin though.
Can I say this real quick? That belt is hot. Like, I want that, the one that Jack Perry has now, that
the
black
burnt looking one
and silver. It's like dark one. Black. It's so black it almost looks purple. That championship is hot. But you've done nothing besides make the championship look good to make me care about it.
Of course, they go at it in a coffin match. See, they call it a coffin match. They call it a casket match. It's the same match. And, of course, the EVPs fought earlier in the day which means you know who got involved in the match. And then that guy would not go away, would he? Talking about Damien, talking about wrestlers that don't stay retired, right? That man known as Sting showed up.
He'll stay retired. He won't wrestle anymore. He'll just be a valet for or some backup for old Darby, because that's the only way they can get Darby over.
Because I guess the EVP thought it was a great idea to not only put Darby in the casket, but treat him like he the Undertaker and try to set the casket on fire.
And you know what I think is dumb about this match? If you're going to have Sting come back, why not have Sting come back and help Darby win the TNT Championship? Wouldn't that make more sense? I guess I just think too much.
Yes. So yeah, Sting returned, saved our Abbott from immortality. But Jack Perry is still the TNT Championship. Now, sir, the floor is yours because we are down to the main event.
All right, so we're not gonna go through the match, because we don't need to. We're gonna hit a few key points on my end, and that's all I really got to say. Daniel Bryan won.
He's not returned.
When I knew that Bryan Danielson was winning, I did say Daniel Bryan the first time. When I knew that Bryan Danielson was winning, was when his family was there, and when they had with Swerve. So these are the things that is like, oh, Swerve gonna lose. He signed his new contract, right? Now with the fly, right? He got 3-6 Mafia up there. He got Bun B from UGK.
Oh, so you're saying Swerve came out too hard?
Yeah, all that stuff happened. I'm like, yeah, my man don't lose. But Dan Bryan's family's there. He looking at his family, and then the tool that they used to make it happen was Hangman. So that's perfect. But a plot point that my co-hosts talked about earlier that they didn't do. Why couldn't Hangman have won the Casino Battle Royal, got the championship chance, and then Swerve said, oh, since you cost me my chance, you're going to put yours on the line, and I'm going to beat your way and take it. Why? Because now that he's no longer champion, you're going to do him like every other company has done their previous black champions. And he's going to take him a year to get back to get a rematch. That's why you didn't do that. Because now he's got to get in another feud with Hangman Adam Page. We've already seen that time and time and time again. Congratulations, Tony Khan, on taking, because I don't even have a problem with Bryan Danielson winning, right? Because I get it. He's not going to retire. He said he was going to do limited dates. That's what he's been saying. So I got concerned when he put his career on the line. I was like, And last week was on Dynamite when Swerve was like, yeah, I'm going to beat you so bad in front of your kids and family that you ain't going to never be able to wrestle. And if you ever try to wrestle again, I'm going to show up. I'm going to beat you down. I'm like, this does not sound like a guy that's going to win this match. So, yeah, all the things that led up to it, my guy lost. I'm disappointed that they didn't give him a longer run. They didn't build him up to the point that they should have either while he was champion. He's not going to go down as a bad champion, but he's not going to go down as a top champion either. He's going to be a middle-of-the-road champion. And congratulations, AEW, for taking a guy that should have really been a flag bearer, standard bearer for the company, a guy that really could have helped you reach a demographic that doesn't care about your show as much, and push him back down the card. You'll see what happens with your ratings.
See?
You'll see it.
See? All right. Let me see. When did Swerve become champion?
It doesn't even matter now.
No, I'm asking because didn't like.
I know you're asking, but it's in my mind. It doesn't even matter.
Then like a week or two later, and I was like, "Yeah, this is not going the way that
it was right." It was right after WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I did come on this program, and it was like, I'm not liking how they're using the champion, right?
Right, but remember I said they should give him a long run and slowly build him and the championship up. right?
And my way butter was, I don't see them doing that.
I didn't say that they were, because again, when a man has a self-made powder tornado that he can get in a little capsule and have some fun with multiple times a day, he does crazy stuff.
All right, let's take a break so I can use this last 20 minutes for WWE stuff.
I'm still mad, by the way.
Oh.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Rams fans all around the world.
It's a beautiful thing to be a Rams fan right now. Stafford's back. We will see about Cup. And running back Kerryon Williams to return.
Lend me your ears, or should I say lend Playmaker your ears, as he breaks down week by week everything in the Los Angeles Rams canon.
Number 99, Aaron Donald. Can't wait for 2029 to come to know that you are going in the Hall of Fame, and it should be first ballot, no questions asked.
Join the Playmaker as he breaks down everything Los Angeles Rams style in Ramily Talk on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts. Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central.
So would you like to go to the comments now or no?
Comments. Man,
All right.
that's a whole bunch of them.
Let's do this. Damien, I respect how you support what we're doing, AP as well. So let's get this thing on. AP says, I got some beef with the bloodline. We're going to get to that. That's where we're going now. Damien says, the Wolverine and Deadpool that Sammy and Dustin was wearing was way better than Osprey bootleg Assassin's Creed gear that looked like he got it from Walmart on sale. You got to blame it on the people that made it. I didn't watch the pre-show because it was the pre-show. I just looked at the results because it was the pre-show. But and they already pay-per-views already be 4+ hours, so I was like, yeah. Eyeballs don't want so much to get dry. AP says, is it me or WWE keeping AEW in business, letting go people and AEW signing them? Tony Khan and his father, Shad Khan, have more money than all the other people put together. That's what's keeping them in business. They probably need to turn no profit, but it doesn't matter because Tony Khan's, powder tornadoes keeps him happy. Damien says, not gonna lie, when Mariah slapped her mama, I thought she was going to jump the rail and whoop her. Yes. Damien says, Soraya coming out with her family was cool. It was. Damien also gives his take on Jamie Hayter, saying she looked more like Daphne from Scooby-Doo than Becky Lynch with the orange hair. Laugh out loud. I mean, a hot, live version of Daphne. I wouldn't call it so. Damien says, it looks weird seeing Taz back in his gear. Laugh out loud. He's probably about the same size as he was before. He says Ricochet theme song sucks. I didn't really hear it because everybody was so excited, but it didn't seem impressive. He also said, did Nigel really need to show up? I mean, they had Ospreay already. Sir, yes. You were in England. You needed as many guys and gals that were from England to have an appearance. He says, I'm surprised, Damien, again, the title did change names to European title. It would have made more sense than international. WWE had the European Championship, so can't use that name, sir. Damien says, Mercedes for what she did at the press conference. I did not look at the press conferences either. Again, 4+ hour pay-per-view. It's enough time for me to give it. I'm just serious, right? I'm only doing those on big show. Something major.
You know what we learned today? Your limit for Cool McCain is 4 hours. Once you hit that mark,
unless they be doing half the stuff, seeming like for real, like somebody was sniffing cocaine when they did it. You don't get no more than 4 hours for cocaine laced foolishness half the time. Daniel says, put a hand in someone's mouth, pause, sir. Laugh out loud. I did miss that when we did it because I was ranting, but yeah. Good one, Daniel. Good one. RP Psycho Sid, yes, Psycho Sid did pass away according to his son. So hate to see that. But yeah, RP to Psycho Sid. Damien says, why not have Sting come back through the rafters sliding instead of walking?
He too old.
Yeah. Damien says the only way I see Bryan retiring after winning is if Moxley or Cesaro turns on him and takes him out and takes the title. If he says, let me give up my belt to someone else, heck no.
That's what you got beef with?
That's what he's got beef with, sir.
Let me pull the Cody Johnson. Woosah.
I know we'll touch on that in our time here with the WWE, the W.
All right, I'm gonna cut through the fact. We're gonna get right to the point, okay? Same as beat
WWE this week, by the way, y'all. Plenty of WWE.
The content next week won't be bad. It'll be the emotions. Put it like that. Sheamus beat Pete Dunne. Very physical bout. As always, what does Sheamus like to say? Banger after banger after banger after banger. No different Monday night with Pete Dunne. Hell of a match. Great way to start off Raw after Randy Orton did his promo, but promo wasn't really that important for once. Sheamus got the dub. Now, one of the things that we had question marks by because the situation is going on in the storyline, New Day and Odyssey Jones versus the Final Testament. How would this go? Because, Xavier Woods, he's not liking where things are going thus far. And Karrion Kross is continuing to poke that issue further and further along, almost like kicking the can down the road until he couldn't kick the can no more. Because once Odyssey Jones got that tag, it was pretty much over for the Final Testament. Xavier Woods, I'm gonna be honest with you. You might need to reconsider whatever you're thinking or whatever the storyline is, because it looks like when Odyssey Jones gets in that ring, can't nobody touch that guy. Are we saying the same thing, sir?
Yes.
And then that's to show you or to tell you how much obsession Karrion Kross has with the New Day and Xavier Woods. His lovely lady, Scarlett, says, leave them alone. You had the time with them. It didn't work. I have something to help you get over them. Karrion Kross, you are one lucky man.
I'm just glad that they finally did something to get that man away from them, because that was getting to be like a weird obsession type thing. It was not good television.
Well, when you have a smoking hot wife, that's the best way to go.
Just bother somebody else. I mean, go lose to somebody else next. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna win, so go get beat by somebody else.
So that should be done. But knowing WWE, they might find a way. Women's championship match in a triple threat style. Damage Control versus, I'm just going to call them the Collective. Okay. Versus Aladon and Alba Fire.
You're not gonna give them that PF, their prefuse?
Heck no. I don't even want to say the Collective part. Only reason why I say that because they are a trio. Finally, they at least WWE admit they're a trio. Jeez. And of course, Alba Fire and Aladon retain because they got bigger business to take care of, which I will get to later. We got a promo from CM Punk. And if you watched the show last week, we kind of hinted of where this rivalry was going to go next. And CM Punk gave it to us. We are getting a strap match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Now, previews of that match will come when we talk about Brash Berlin. So let's put a pin on that one, all right? Now, here's where things got interesting. Maxine Dupree versus Ivy Nile. I saw a side of Maxine Dupree that I didn't think I would ever see, and I enjoyed it. I saw a fired up, aggressive Maxine Dupree in this match for the time that I did get to watch the match, because the match didn't last long. I'm going to be completely honest with you. From that standpoint, so how did you feel about Maxine Dupree? Before we get to the other part.
She looked hot. Definitely looked hot. We saw a little bit more toughness than we've seen out of her, so not upset about it.
And the reason why the match didn't go as long,
more.
But the reason why the match didn't go as long because the Y6 paid a visit. Nikki Cross got her son with Ivy Nile. And the Creed brothers got taken out yet again. Which left Chad Gable alone with who? Uncle Howdy with the Sister Abigail. Now, here's the interesting part. Somebody who has been rumored for the longest time about being a part of this group is teasing us on social media. I don't know if you saw it.
I do.
But Alexa Bliss is teasing us. She's teasing us. Either she's finna return very soon, or she's jerking our chain.
And both are feasible and reasonable.
So we could be getting that sixth member of the Riot Six soon. And even though I skipped over Randy Orton's promo, he did have a match with Luther Kaiser. And that match pretty went as well as you wanted to go. Randy Orton giving Luther Kaiser an RKO, winning the match and whatnot. But here's something I want to talk about. Miz being the good guy that he's trying to be. Of course, you have to defend a partner who is taken out by a certain person. And this is where Damian goes 2 for 2. Because we obviously know that the Miz was going to lose to Bronson Reed. There's like nothing that Miz can do, even in his great career that he has had, that could give you a possibility that he's beaten Bronson Reed. But who can stand up to Bronson Reed? And like I said, Damian went 2 for 2 because he did call for Braun Strowman.
A big meaty man, which is what I called for.
And that's who showed up to stop Bronson Reed from taking out the Miz.
A big meaty man, yes it is.
So when are we going to get Braun Strowman versus Bronson Reed? That is the question now.
Well, it won't be a Bash in Berlin because they only do 5 matches.
Heck no, it ain't gonna be at Bash in Berlin. I probably ain't gonna be tonight either.
It might be tonight. Who knows?
So Damien, you went 2 for 2. Giving you props when there, dude. Now tell me why they had a match between Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, knowing good and darn well this match was going to end up the way that it did. With Judgment Day standing tall, not only standing tall over Damian Priest, but standing tall over Rhea Ripley, because Liv Morgan decided to work on a certain part of Rhea Ripley's body. So that's your Monday Night Raw quick version edition. Before I go to SmackDown, I do want to go to NXT. NXT has some very interesting things happen. I don't know if you was able to catch NXT, sir.
I was able to catch part of it.
But Chase U, NXT Tag Team Champions. How you feel about that?
I'm okay with it.
But they will be defending. But they will be defending those titles against the former champions. So I'm looking forward to that matchup.
They should beat them.
You should be right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cole Johnson's not in the chat, which is a shame because he would have loved this, and I know my co-host loved this. We have a new challenger for Roxanne Perez's NXT Women's Championship. Hey, Miss Parker.
And this is the part of the show where we say another member of the Cake Infantry, Miss Parker.
Jada Parker got her. She won the Gauntlet Eliminator match to earn the right to challenge Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship at No Mercy.
Right.
So we got another Premium Live event coming up. They just keep rolling, don't they?
Yeah.
Obi Fiend was laying on his back, which is something I'm not used to. Tony D'Angelo put the North American champion down, which now sets up a North American championship match.
Right.
Between the two. And I'm looking for that to be at No Mercy. And then, as we mentioned earlier, if you didn't catch what we was doing when we were talking TNA, we had a triple threat match for the number one contendership for the NXT Championship. Wes Lee versus Pete Dunne versus Joe Hendry, with the champion at ringside. And the champion was doing everything in his power to make sure that the outsider didn't get a shot at the NXT Championship. However, what he forgot, Pete Dunne made a lot of enemies, not only on the ring roster, but in NXT as well. And one of those guys decided it's time to get some payback. So Mr. Trick Willie decided to give Pete Dunne a knee to the face. While All Ego thought he did his job for the day and was getting ready to leave until he realized that Joe Hendry was there for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. So Joe Hendry and All Ego Ethan Page had no mercy for the championship. That's why I asked that question earlier, for those of you who didn't know. So that's NXT I had to throw in there real quick. SmackDown. SmackDown had a lot more action than talking this past week. A lot more action in the nation's capital. We're gonna begin with the United States champion making his first title defense in the nation's capital, LA Knight. We're going against Santos Escobar. So Alberto and Angel decided to beat up on LA Knight before the match in front of Jessica, the ref, which is stupid within itself. They get tossed out. Miss Lopez had a problem, put her hand on the ref. She got tossed out before the match, so it was a 1-on-1 match. LA Knight successfully retains, but Santos Escobar did look good. He did have some words for his group in the back because you idiots got ejected before the bell even rung.
How dare you not help me win?
Y'all got ejected before the bell even rang.
The nerve of you, jackanapes. You didn't help me win. I am Santos Escobar. You are supposed to help me win. Petty. My second language.
Now, we did have a little bit of talking in the form of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. And did it sound like they were foreshadowing or stirring the pot when it comes to a certain Money in the Bank winner?
When does Chelsea Green not stir the pot, but she opens her mouth?
That is true.
It's a better question.
But does this one have some validity to it, though?
Yeah. You didn't get Money in the Bank to not be champion. Who's the champion? Yeah.
Is not just little Barbie going to turn on her at some point in time? Because we still haven't seen her on Raw not one time. Or NXT.
Well, I've got an answer for that question.
I mean, Triple H, can you give us some suspense? I mean, please, like, can we just have Tiffany show up on? Have Tiffany show up at Bash in Berlin, for goodness sakes.
But you know what's the thing about all this, Playmaker?
What's that?
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Just saying. Jeez, give me something. Give me a little suspense. If you don't want to go back down to NXT when she ruled NXT, and she actually ruled NXT, okay? Don't get it twisted. Y'all might be in the Roxanne Perez era, but before her, it was Tiffany.
At least a tease. At least a tease. At least a, I have the briefcase. Like nothing.
Like, gee, ever since she won a briefcase, she has been on SmackDown. We haven't had one tease.
Nope. But we've had several teases. That's not true. They've just all been on SmackDown.
Give me some variety, please.
Yeah. Y'all want Tiffy time on the other shows.
I mean, it's perfect. You got Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley going to a bloody rivalry. Those on the back of both of their heads. Those on the back of both of their heads.
You can easily swoop in when they mess up and catch one of them slipping on Bash in Berlin. Just saying. It won't happen because it's too original, but it would make sense.
That's good, especially Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan already paranoid as it is.
Yeah.
There's a match he got to deal with Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton walking around surprisingly on Raw with the Money in Bank contract, knowing she's on SmackDown.
We ain't gonna do stuff like that, man. Why would we do that? What are you thinking, sir?
Jeez, like make the Money in the Bank what it is.
You know where we got to go next, sir.
Oh, that's why I'm doing that. That's exactly why I went there first.
But you know where we got to go next.
Because that leads into a 6-woman tag match. We still don't know why Blair Davenport is doing what she's doing because she hasn't said a word since she started doing all this. The tag champs, Alba Fire and Aladon, going against the trio that all paid homage to the GOAT of gymnastics, Simone Biles.
Just in case y'all weren't clear.
Very interesting way to pay tribute. I want to know who came up with the idea so they can get a raise or get a nod, whatever.
It was probably them.
And it might been them too.
Probably them. They probably was like, yo, we want these 3 outfits for the show Friday. That's probably who it was. I'm not giving nobody but them credit for that.
I don't know who. That's what I'm saying. Whoever.
Triple caramel cakes. TCC.
And how fitting in WWE fashion, the champs weren't involved in the pinfall.
Or TKK.
You can go that route too. The champs weren't involved in the pinfall. Neither was the power cakes involved in championship. So we pretty much did a reverse of what happened the previous week. Blair Davenport beat Naomi in a one-on-one match. Friday night, Naomi got the pin on Blair Davenport. I'm tired of seeing the same thing over and over. I'm just saying.
After the entrance, that's what I thought. The entrance was great, but after that, that's what I thought.
And then we get to the bloodline. The bloodline. Hey, Pete, you still here? We go. The bloodline comes out as they getting ready to defend their SmackDown Tag Team Championship, which is the WWE Tag Team Championships, against the Street Profits. But before we get to this match, the bloodline comes out. Solo Sikoa as Jacob Fatu to step up. First, he said, give me your tag team title. Okay. Everybody, including Jacob Fatu, got a confused look on their face. Okay, I will give you the title. You might try achieving all that, but I'll give you the title. Matter of fact, don't even get it to me. Give it to Tomohiro. You want me to give? And Solo says, you can't be my personal enforcer if you're part of the tag team. And one way I like it because you actually put in the Guerrillas of Destiny as tag team champions, which they are a tag team. They are brothers, just like the Usos at one point in time. But at the same time, unless you're going to have Jacob Fatu go for the mid-card titles, then I'll back off. But if you're not going for the mid-card titles, I have a problem. Because if you want Jacob Fatu, you want the tag team titles to begin with. What do you say?
I'll tell you why I don't. The way they did it was silly. They should have did just Freebird rules instead. But I'll tell you why I don't have a problem. Because Jacob Fatu doesn't have to ever take an L when they lose the tag team championships. So he can continue to be built stronger. That's why I don't have a problem. The method in which they did it, I do think was very stupid.
Okay. Nevertheless, we get to the Street Profits come out and interrupt everything. I'm happy they went back to doing what they normally do. And they brought back the famous saying. Because once they went that route, the entire crowd in DC said it with them. We can finally get back. We want the smoke now. But you're going against the bloodline. So we know how this match ended. The Guerrillas of Destiny retained the WWE tag team titles. In bloodline fashion, by the way.
And I
Just in
also
case,
want to say Jacob Fatu will end up turning on Solo Sikoa. I think we're going to get a third bloodline faction.
3 bloodline factions.
Yeah, but I think Roman Reigns' faction is going to be a slow burn.
3.
I think Jacob Fatu is going to have his own. He's turning on a Solo Sikoa at some point.
Okay. I need to put a pin in that because that's a conversation for another day. When we're
I just
low
want to throw it
time.
out there early.
Good gracious. Cody Rhodes on a Grayson Waller fed. Of course, they said all the things that they said about Kevin Owens, which is true, but because we all seen it, we all left it, all that good stuff. Kevin Owens comes out and says, I love what Kevin Owens did, though. Kevin Owens said, we know how this works. You do this, I come in there, we fight, and Nick Aldis comes out and make a tag team match. So can we just skip to the part where Nick Aldis comes out and make a tag team match? And then he asks him, do I still have time to punch them in the face? I love the fact Karen Owens did that. That's different and funny. So make the match first, and then can I punch them in the face? Okay, all right. They do the match, of course. KO and Cody Rhodes win and whatnot. Now we move on to Bash at Berlin.
The highest ranked jobbers. A-Town down.
Bash at Berlin will be Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Saturday at 1 p.m. Now, lucky for me that I have 2 TVs, so I'll be able to watch it. But WWE, Triple H, y'all torn with me and my co-host here because Saturday is a big day for the both of us. But let's go through the card.
It's a bigger day for my co-host.
Well, yeah, I don't know why it's a bigger day for me, even though
don't have expectations.
I'll explain. I'll explain later.
I don't care what people try to tell me. I don't have expectations until they show me something different.
All right. LA Knight is doing what you hate the most. He's doing an open challenge at Bash in Berlin.
I don't hate an open challenge for LA Knight. I think it's a good move for him because he's got something to prove.
Normally, you hate open challenges.
For certain people.
That should be interesting. Who accepts that challenge? What if it's him?
What if it's John Cena?
Oh, Lord. That don't start yet. That starts in 2025.
John Cena can wrestle now if he want to.
He can. You do have a point. But the focus is 2025 for John Cena. That's my point, okay?
I mean, let's say he were to show up and win the championship.
Nah, I do say I did.
As many championship fights or defends as Logan Paul had by 2025.
I will say that I did enjoy him on Club Shade Shit with Shannon Sharp, though. I did enjoy that interview.
I gotta watch that when I saw it, but I haven't had time to watch it yet.
WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Unholy Union. They actually put Unholy Union on the site, but they don't call him Unholy Union on the freaking show.
And I'm gonna go LA Knight with whoever he fights, by the way. Just
LA Knight. Unholy Union, those of you who don't know, that's Alba Fire and Alla Dunn. Going against the Power Cakes. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
Going Power Cakes, but I will say Alba Fire is in the Cake Brigade.
The Power Cakes better win.
The Power Cakes don't win, we riot.
We riot. And money is already gonna be a bad show anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be even worse if they don't win it back.
Mm-hmm.
Strap match. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre tied to a strap. Who's gonna get the worst of it?
I just don't care, but I say probably Drew McIntyre gets the worst.
So that'll make it 1-on-1. That'll make it 1-on-1, and we need to have part 3 to this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with it. This has been one of the best storylines since it's all started back in the Royal Rumble. So this finishes also at Blood. That's the next pay-per-view, if I remember correctly. Unless they're doing one in September. I gotta look. But I know Blood is in early October. So speaking of Blood, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley going against Dominic Mysterio and his nasty girlfriend, Liv Morgan.
I actually think that Dom and Liv are going to win a match because it's going to end up being everybody involved. Unless tonight the Terror Twins get help. If it's just going to be the two of them, they're not going to win that match. So I got to kind of.
The Terror Twins win because that's the only way you can push the story forward for them to get hands on the people that they really want to get hands on. Because honestly, Damian Priest don't want to get hands on Dominic Mysterio. He just want to do it because he wants to get at SummerSlam. But
right, but do we want to push their story that fast? No, we're going to drag it out.
Bad Blood is coming up in like.
They don't have to have. They don't have. It doesn't have to happen to Bad Blood.
Everybody
wants the name of his Bad Blood. But honestly, it's not good storytelling to have that match happen in Bad Blood. It's too close. It's not good storytelling.
You're not going to do it at Survivor Series because we already know what Survivor Series is.
You can do it after Survivor Series.
Then again, I got to look and see when
you can have 7.
What is it? I got to look and see when Crown Jewel is. Because Crown Jewel is usually in November too. So
yeah, because you can have the Terror Twins get some partners and fight the Judgment Day at Survivor Series. Because you may not have the other bloodline or whatever it is with the bloodline, the other one completely established by then. You never know.
Undisputed WWE Championship, Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes.
Cody's gonna win this match.
Cody's gonna win this match, but more importantly, this is where all hell breaks loose.
Just give me a match, a losable match for Cody, then we'll talk.
I'm saying all hell breaks loose. I don't think this relationship survives after this.
I mean, it may survive long enough for Randy to come out when he loses. I'll go ahead and give him an answer for the next match. And then gets back on SmackDown and cools everything over till he gets his shot. Then he loses, and that's what everything will implode.
And speaking of which, the main event, I'm calling it the main event. World Heavyweight Championship, Gunther versus Randy Orton. In Gunther's backyard of Berlin, Germany.
Gunther wins.
The Ring General. Also, I say the King General. Gunther for the W. Now that we got that out the way, I know we 15 minutes past 8. The reason why next week's going to be a problem for clarifications. College football began, and both of us are happy what happened to over in Ireland. Him more than me, because if y'all seen Bear Down Gridiron, you know why. But on the 31st, 2 hours after Bash in Berlin begins, 2.5 hours after Bash in Berlin begins, that guy over there in the Eagles hat rocking a red jersey is a Miami Hurricane fan, who is ranked 19th in the poll, by the way. You didn't want to bring that up, did you?
No, I don't care.
They're ranked 19th.
Until they do something, you don't get me running around talking about nothing about them. Do something first.
They're
supposed to be great.
They are going to Gainesville, Florida to take on the Florida Gators, who I am a fan of. So,
well, that's not Georgia Tech.
So Saturday is very interesting for the both of us.
That was petty, by the way.
It was petty, but it is you, so I expect it from you, especially when it comes to anything Florida State.
That's fair.
So on Monday, somebody will be coming on the show with an L handed to them.
I just want to go ahead and make it clear now. If I'm held in an L, status quo. If I'm not, I'll be more surprised.
I don't know why he keeps saying that.
Oh, you don't?
My squad ain't even ranked.
And what does that really matter in week 1?
My squad got the schedule of death.
That has nothing to do with this game. This game is not after you've had the schedule of death. This is the first game of the year. All this stuff is pomp and circumstance, speculation. Ain't nobody played and earned none of this. So again, if Miami wins this game, I'll be pleasantly surprised. If I'm holding the L, nothing new.
If he on the L, he gonna come out and say He gonna go on a rant.
I'm not.
Or why he expected that.
I'm not even going to rant why I expected it. I'm going to say congratulations to Florida. There's 2 Florida fans I really respect, you and my boy's wife. Congratulations to y'all if y'all win.
But I'll say the rest of this for Wednesday. Oh, Lord. Wednesday's going to be one of them days. And then Saturday's going to be crazy. But outside of that, Bash in Berlin.
Yep. We got a couple of comments here, y'all. Let's go through them real quick. Damien says, just glad it wasn't Brock laugh out loud, right? Brock could have joined the bloodline and been given the belt.
No, he's talking about Braun Strowman confronting Bronson.
Oh, I thought he was talking about
he's
him
talking
being
about
given the belt because shoot, they would do something like that. But you're right, because it was earlier. He says bad blood. Damien also says Joe Hendry got to win the title. No way WWE can F this up again after what happened at Battleground. You're going to be disappointed, I think, Damien. On that.
Our ego really just got that title at Battleground. So it's like.
So Damien says, cool does better Spanglish than Andrade, laugh out loud. It is true. Sadly enough, it is true. He also says there's more teas on Samantha Irvin IG stories than Tiffy time, laugh out loud. Damien always gets a couple in. Yolanda says we go into bad blood.
He ain't lying though, because Samantha be taking some pictures. I'm be like, darn you, Ricochet.
And then Yolanda says drafting too. And she says, go Dogs.
Oh, that draft is at 6 p.m. Okay, I'll be well past Bash in Berlin.
I got some drafts too. Woo, I got some drafts, boy. I had to quit like 4 leagues and I still got like 6.
And as far as the last comment, I have no comment.
You see what I said about it?
I have no comment.
I just put it up there and I just went on. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's only a couple of things left for me to say. Playmaker, before I say those things, do you have any other comments or thoughts that you would like to get out to the audience?
I wish I can skip next Monday, but I can't.
Whatever.
You dead serious? Like this is very bad timing here by Triple H.
That being said, make sure you tell 4 people who you think are your friends. Right? They may not be, but you may think they are. And then also tell 4 people that may not like you so much. Now, some of those people that you think are your friends may actually be in the don't like you group, but we want you to split it up. Right? So that's a good 8 people. Just because they may or may not like you doesn't mean they won't like us. And also, remember, it's never where you start. It's always where you finish. And we're going to exit with the community challenge of one Mr. Bass.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Kris Bass.
So whatever color crown they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m.